Why does your favorite armchair feel like a deep pit you have to climb out of each morning? Why do your knees seem to forecast the weather with a dull, persistent ache? If you've been following the doctor's orders, choosing the sensible foods, and staying as active as you can, but your legs still feel heavy, stiff, or weak, the answer isn't just surprising. It's hiding in plain sight on your dinner plate. The problem may not be what you're avoiding, but what you're dutifully eating every single day, believing it's the key to good health. It turns out that the healthy carbohydrates you've been choosing for energy could be the secret reason your legs are giving you trouble. Yes, the same foods praised for being high in fiber and good for your heart. The very foundation of what we've been told is a balanced diet for seniors. But here, the unsettling truth: not all carbs are created equal, especially for a body over 60. In fact, some of the most common staples in a senior's pantry are silently contributing to joint inflammation, poor circulation, nerve irritation, and that frustrating muscle fatigue. They don't taste like dessert. They don't seem like a threat, but they could be systematically robbing you of your mobility and balance, so slowly you barely notice it. Until one day, a simple walk around the block leaves you sore, standing to cook dinner causes pain in your lower back and ankles, or you find yourself choosing the elevator over the stairs without a second thought. In this video, I'm going to pull back the curtain on 7 so-called healthy carbs that every person over 60 needs to be cautious about, especially if you're battling leg pain, swelling, stiffness, or that feeling of your lower body just not cooperating. Most of these are hailed as smart choices, but what they actually do inside an aging body is a completely different and often damaging story. If you are serious about protecting your leg strength, soothing your aching joints, and reclaiming your freedom of movement, you need to hear this. This information might just be the most important step you take towards feeling better. And before we begin, if you believe that your health is your greatest asset, take a moment to click the subscribe button and ring that notification bell. We share insights here that you won't find on mainstream health channels. If you're committed to this journey with me, comment "I'm ready" down below so I know you're serious. Now let's get into carb number 7, a food that is likely in your kitchen right now, masquerading as the perfect healthy choice. Number 7, whole wheat bread. Dark, hearty, and full of fiber, whole wheat bread has been the cornerstone of a sensible diet for generations. We choose it over white bread, feeling responsible and health conscious. We're told it's better for our blood sugar, our digestion, and our overall health. But for the aging body, this trusted staple can be a Trojan horse for inflammation and pain. The problem lies with modern wheat and a protein you've probably heard of: gluten. The wheat grown today is not the same grain our ancestors ate. It has been bred to contain significantly more gluten, which acts as a binding agent. For a senior's digestive system, which naturally becomes more sensitive over time, this high concentration of gluten can be a major irritant. It can compromise the gut lining, leading to a condition known as leaky gut, where undigested food particles and toxins escape into the bloodstream. What happens next? Your immune system flags these particles as invaders and launches a full-scale inflammatory attack. And where does that inflammation often settle? In your most vulnerable joints, your knees, your hips, your ankles. It presents as a persistent, low-grade ache that you might blame on arthritis or just getting older. You might notice your knees feel puffy after a sandwich at lunch, or your hips are extra stiff in the morning. It's not your imagination. It could be the healthy bread you're eating every day. Furthermore, many commercial whole wheat breads contain added sugars, dough conditioners, and preservatives that only add fuel to the inflammatory fire. It feels sturdy and wholesome, but to your joints, it can feel like a constant, low-level assault. If your legs feel achy and your energy levels crash an hour or two after eating, it's time to look at the bread you're choosing. But what about the breakfast food that's universally praised as heart-healthy? The one that's supposed to lower your cholesterol? Number 6, oatmeal. A warm bowl of oatmeal seems like the perfect, comforting start to the day. It's recommended by doctors and dietitians alike. It's affordable, easy to prepare, and supposed to give you lasting energy. However, the way most seniors eat oatmeal can turn this superfood into a source of joint stiffness and mineral depletion. The first issue is that most people reach for instant or quick-cook oats. These have been heavily processed, stripped of some of their fiber, and are broken down into smaller pieces. This means they digest very quickly, causing a surprisingly rapid spike in your blood sugar, much like that whole wheat bread. That spike leads to an insulin rush, and the subsequent crash leaves you feeling tired and can trigger inflammation throughout your body, particularly in your legs. The second, more hidden problem is a compound found in all grains called phytic acid. Phytic acid is an antinutrient that binds to essential minerals in your digestive tract, specifically calcium, magnesium, and zinc, and prevents your body from absorbing them. These are the very minerals you need for strong bones, healthy nerve function, and relaxed muscles. As we age, our mineral absorption naturally declines. Consuming a daily bowl of oatmeal, especially one that hasn't been properly prepared by soaking, can slowly deplete your body's reserves of these critical minerals. This can lead to weaker bones, more muscle cramping in the calves and feet, and an overall feeling of fragility. You might be eating a food you think is nourishing you, while it's quietly blocking the very nutrients your legs and bones desperately need. It's a gentle food that can have harsh, long-term consequences. Now, let's move from the breakfast bowl to the dinner plate, to a grain that's considered the healthier alternative to its white counterpart. Number 5. Brown rice. For decades, we've been told to swap white rice for brown rice. It has more fiber, more vitamins, and a lower glycemic index. On paper, it's the superior choice. But for seniors dealing with joint pain and digestive issues, brown rice comes with a set of hidden challenges that can make leg pain worse. The main issue is found in the very part that makes it brown, the bran and the hull. This outer layer contains high levels of lectins, which are sticky plant proteins designed to protect the grain from predators. In the human gut, especially a more sensitive, aging one, these lectins can be difficult to digest. They can bind to the lining of your intestines, causing irritation and inflammation. Just like with gluten, this gut-level inflammation can become systemic, traveling through your bloodstream and aggravating the cartilage in your knees and other joints. Have you ever felt bloated, gassy, or just off after a meal with brown rice? That's a sign your digestive system is struggling, and that internal struggle can manifest as external pain. Additionally, rice, particularly brown rice, is known to absorb arsenic from the soil more than other grains. Over time, chronic low-level exposure to arsenic can contribute to nerve damage and poor circulation, which often shows up first in the lower extremities. This can feel like numbness in your toes, a tingling sensation, or a general feeling of weakness in your calves. You think you're making the healthy swap, but you might be introducing irritants that your body is no longer equipped to handle. So, if even brown rice has its pitfalls, what about a simple vegetable that's a staple in diets all over the world? Number 4. Potatoes. Humble, versatile, and comforting. Potatoes are a go-to food, often baked or boiled and seen as a natural, unprocessed source of energy and potassium. But when it comes to inflammation and blood sugar, a potato is less like a vegetable and more like a ball of pure starch, and for seniors, that can spell trouble for the legs. Potatoes have an extremely high glycemic index, meaning your body converts their starch into sugar almost instantly. This sends your blood sugar on a roller coaster ride, triggering that familiar cycle of an insulin spike, inflammation, and an energy crash. This process puts stress on your blood vessels and can worsen circulation, leading to that heavy, leaden feeling in your legs and swollen ankles, especially at the end of the day. But there's another layer to the potato problem. Potatoes are part of the nightshade family of vegetables, along with tomatoes, peppers, and eggplant. Nightshades contain compounds called alkaloids, such as solanine. For many people, especially those with arthritis or other inflammatory conditions, these alkaloids can be a major trigger for joint pain and stiffness. You might eat a baked potato for dinner and wake up the next morning with knees that feel twice as stiff as usual, never making the connection. The pain from nightshades is often subtle and delayed, making it incredibly difficult to trace back to your food. It's a comfort food that could be quietly making your body extremely uncomfortable. From a whole food, let's look at something that comes in a box, promising health and convenience. Number 3. Healthy cereals and granola. Walking down the cereal aisle, you're bombarded with boxes claiming to be high in fiber, made with whole grains, or heart healthy. Granola, in particular, is marketed as a clean, natural food, perfect for breakfast or a snack. But in reality, most of these products are nutritional traps, loaded with ingredients that directly fuel leg pain. The number one culprit is sugar. To make processed grains and oats palatable, manufacturers load them with staggering amounts of sugar, high fructose corn syrup, honey, or agave. This sugar overload is a direct trigger for inflammation. It's like pouring gasoline on the fire of your already aching joints. Many of these cereals and granolas are also made with inflammatory industrial seed oils, like soybean, canola, or sunflower oil, to give them a crunchy texture and longer shelf life. These oils are high in omega-6 fatty acids, which, when consumed in excess, promote inflammation throughout the body. So you start your day with a bowl of healthy granola, thinking you're doing something good, but you're actually getting a triple hit of inflammatory triggers: a blood sugar spike from the refined carbs and sugar, gut irritation from processed grains, and a dose of inflammatory oils. An hour later, you might feel a familiar stiffness setting in your hips as you stand up, or a dull throb in your knees. It's the furthest thing from a healthy start. Now for a food that many people think is a vegetable, but is actually a grain with its own unique set of problems. Number 2. Corn. Corn on the cob, canned corn, corn tortillas, polenta. Corn is everywhere, and it's often seen as a harmless, natural food. But modern corn, especially for seniors, can be a significant source of inflammation and digestive distress, directly impacting how your legs feel. First, corn is very high in starch and sugar, leading to the same blood sugar spikes we've discussed. But more specifically, it has an imbalanced ratio of fatty acids. Corn is very high in omega-6 fatty acids and contains almost no anti-inflammatory omega-3s. A diet heavy in omega-6s and low in omega-3s is a recipe for chronic, body-wide inflammation, which will inevitably find its way to your joints. Furthermore, a large portion of the corn grown today is genetically modified and heavily sprayed with pesticides. These factors can introduce foreign proteins and chemicals that an aging immune system may react to, further driving inflammation. The proteins in corn can also be difficult to digest, leading to gut irritation that spreads pain throughout the body. That feeling of heaviness and bloating after a meal containing corn isn't just in your stomach. It's a sign of a body-wide reaction that can make your legs feel stiff and sluggish. So if even a simple food like corn can be a problem, what could possibly be number 1? It's a food so closely associated with healthy eating and dieting that this will likely shock you. Number 1. Rice cakes and low-fat crackers. For decades, we've been told that fat is the enemy, so we reach for low-fat alternatives like rice cakes and crisp bread crackers. They're light, crunchy, and have almost no calories. They seem like the ultimate guilt-free snack, but this is, without a doubt, one of the most deceptive health foods for a senior. It may be the biggest contributor to blood sugar dysregulation and the resulting leg pain. Here, why? Rice cakes are made from puffed rice, which is a highly processed carbohydrate stripped of virtually all its fiber, fat, and nutrients. What's left is pure, fast-digesting starch. When you eat a rice cake, it hits your bloodstream with the speed of pure sugar. In fact, a plain rice cake has a glycemic index even higher than table sugar. This causes a massive, immediate spike in blood sugar and a huge insulin response. Your body scrambles to manage this sugar flood. This process is incredibly inflammatory. It damages blood vessels, impairs circulation to your lower legs, and puts immense stress on your system. You might eat a couple of rice cakes with a little something on top, thinking you've had a light snack. But internally, you've just set off an inflammatory bomb. This repeated cycle of sugar spikes and crashes day after day leads to insulin resistance, chronic inflammation, and nerve damage. It's the perfect storm for developing persistent leg pain, burning sensations in the feet, and muscle weakness. This innocent diet food provides zero nutrition and maximum damage. It is truly the ultimate wolf in sheep's clothing. Now that you know the foods that can secretly make things worse, let's focus on the solution. The goal is not to eliminate carbs, but to choose the right ones, the ones that heal instead of harm. Your body needs energy, but it deserves that energy from sources that are gentle, nourishing, and anti-inflammatory. The good news is, there are wonderful, delicious options. Let's start with sweet potatoes and yams. Unlike regular potatoes, these have a lower glycemic index, meaning they release their energy slowly and steadily. They are also packed with vitamin A and antioxidants that actively fight inflammation. Next, consider quinoa. While it looks like a grain, it's actually a seed. It's a complete protein, full of magnesium for muscle health, and its fiber helps keep blood sugar stable. It's a fantastic replacement for rice. Don't overlook lentils and beans. These are true powerhouses. They are loaded with fiber and protein, which means they digest very slowly, providing you with sustained energy without any sugar spike. They actively support good circulation and a healthy gut. For a gentle grain alternative, look into buckwheat. Despite its name, it's not related to wheat at all. It's gluten-free, high in minerals, and has been shown to support cardiovascular health, which is critical for getting blood flow to your legs. And finally, get your carbohydrates from non-starchy vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, zucchini, and leafy greens. They provide energy along with a treasure trove of vitamins, minerals, and anti-inflammatory compounds. Making these simple swaps, choosing a sweet potato over a white potato, having a bowl of lentil soup instead of a sandwich, snacking on vegetables instead of crackers, can make a world of difference. Your body will feel it. Your legs will thank you. If you have listened this far, it shows you are not willing to accept pain and stiffness as an inevitable part of aging. You are a seeker of knowledge, someone who is ready to take back control. It's easy to feel like your body is letting you down. The aches, the fatigue, the fear of losing your independence, it can be overwhelming. But what you've learned today is proof that you are not a passive victim of aging. You are the architect of your own well-being. Your body has been sending you signals. That morning stiffness isn't just a random symptom, it's a message. That pain in your knees isn't just bad luck, it's a request for a different kind of fuel. And now, you know how to listen. You know that making a few intelligent choices on your plate is more powerful than you ever imagined. This isn't about deprivation. It's about empowerment. It's about understanding that the food you choose 3 times a day is a powerful tool to either build your body up or slowly break it down. It's about choosing strength, choosing mobility, choosing a future where you can walk with confidence, play with your grandchildren, and live without constant pain. You are not too old to make a change. Your body has an incredible capacity to heal once you remove the obstacles. It can start tomorrow morning with your very next meal. So I want to ask you, what is one small swap you are willing to make this week? Will you try quinoa instead of rice? Will you ditch the morning cereal for something better? Share your commitment in the comments below. Your story could be the inspiration someone else needs to start their own journey. If this video has opened your eyes, please tap the like button. Share it with a friend who might be struggling, and make sure you're subscribed to Graceful Health Seniors for more truths that can change your life. We are here to help you live not just longer but better, one simple, powerful choice at a time. Stay informed, stay strong, and never stop moving forward.